Story time with Teddy Roosevelt. President Taft is stuck in the bath. William Howard Taft was the 27th President of the United States. He busted monopolies, instituted the federal income tax, boo, and became the only president to serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But today, President Taft is stuck in his bathtub. "Blast," said Taft. "This could be bad." He squeezed and he shimmied. He heaved and he stretched. He gripped the rim of the tub and attempted to lift himself. But it was no use. President Taft was stuck in the bath. Taft took a deep breath and tugged his mustache. "Think, Taft," said Taft. "Use that big noggin and cook up a plan." Two hours passed, and the water got cold. President Taft was still stuck in the bath. "I hope," said Taft, "that nobody notices I'm missing." Someone knocked at the door. "Double blast," said Taft. "Blastin' drat." "Willie?" Oh dear, it was Taft's wife, the First Lady of the United States of America. "You've been in there a while. Is everything fine?" Taft splashed in the bath. "Yes, Nellie," he said. "I'm just scrubbing my back." "I see," said Nellie. "Are you really quite sure?" "Oh blast," shouted Taft. "Why can't a man have a nice quiet bath?" Nellie said, "Sorry, Willie." She sniffed. Taft felt bad. "My love," said Taft, "I am stuck in the bath." "So you are," said Nellie. She thought, well, perhaps. "It's a disaster," said Taft. "Yes, but perhaps." "Blast, perhaps," shouted Taft. "We need action, a plan. Be ye sweetie and call the Vice President." The Vice President came and stood by the tub. "Well, Jim," said Taft, "I'm stuck in the bath." "I see," said the VP. "Well, you've called the right man. I'm ready to be sworn in as a President of the United States of America." "Blast that," bellowed Taft. "A preposterous plan." "Perhaps," said the First Lady. "Call the Secretary of State," shouted President Taft. "Mr. Secretary," said Taft, "I'm stuck in the bath." "Indeed," said the Secretary of State. "Let me put this diplomatically. A man of great stature needs not be of great girth, and so—" "Blast, man," shouted Taft. "Are you calling me fat?" "No, sir," said the Secretary of State, was taken aback. "But certainly a diet combined with calisthenics." "Blast diets," said Taft. "I need something fast." "Should we swear me in as president now?" asked the Vice President. "Call the Secretary of Agriculture," shouted President Taft. "Mr. Secretary," said Taft, "I am stuck in the bath." Said the Secretary. "A huge vat of butter would do the trick. We'll have 50 farmers milk 50 cows. If Congress spends the night churning, we should have enough. We'll grease up your sides and the sides of the tub. Then it'll be easy. You'll slide right out." "Blast butter," said Taft. "As soon as I'm out, I'll just need another bath." "Perhaps," said the First Lady. "Call the Secretary of War," shouted President Taft. Back then it was the Department of War, now it's the Department of Defense. "Mr. Secretary," said Taft, "I am stuck in the bath." "Yes," said the Secretary. "We'll soon see to that." "With what?" Taft asked. "Dynamite." Taft was aghast. "We'll just need a few sticks of TNT and a rather long fuse and boom, you'll be free. We'll blast this tub out to smithereens." Blasting, said Taft. That's dangerous, man. You'd be wearing a helmet, said the Secretary of War. No, shouted Taft. Don't you think President James Schoolcraft Sherman sounds catchy, said the Vice President. No, shouted Taft. Perhaps, said the First Lady. Call the Secretaries of the Navy, the Treasury, and Interior, shouted President Taft. Send deep-sea divers into the tub, said the Secretary of the Navy. Throw money at the problem, said the Secretary of the Treasury. The answer is inside you, said the Secretary of the Interior. Blast that, and that, shouted President Taft. It is clear I am unfit for office. A president cannot govern while stuck in a bath. Am I to be carried around this great nation in a tub, borne aloft the backs of 6 young men like princelings from antiquity? No, bellowed Taft. It is un-American. Taft waved his right hand. Fetch the Chief Justice. I will resign. Let's swear Sherman in. Wait, said the First Lady. Let's not be rash. There are 8 of us here. Perhaps if we stopped using our brains and just used our arms, we could pull Willie out from the tub. It was a pretty good plan. And those 8 great minds rolled up their sleeves, and they yanked and they tugged. At first Taft wouldn't budge, but then came a squeak, and a slap, and a snap, and just like that, President Taft flew from the bath. There were many glad cries. Taft kissed his wife. A celebration ensued, and someone called in a band. There was dancing and snacks. The Secretary of State raised his glass. A toast, he said, to President Taft. Worry not, great man. 100 years hence, no one will recall that you were stuck in the bathtub. Our grandchildren's grandchildren will read of your many great feats. The crowd spoke. The crowd broke into applause. Speech, speech, they all said. The band stopped. Taft cleared his throat. Those gathered were wrapped. Would somebody hand me a robe? He asked. And that's that.